Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, welcome. My name is Violetta Alexis and I've been a tarot reader for 5 years. We have a lot going on in the stars and in the cards for the week of January 11th through to the 17th. We have oppositions from the Sun, Mars, Venus, and Mercury to Jupiter and Cancer. And we also have a gorgeous sextile between Venus and Saturn and a gorgeous, even more gorgeous trine from Venus to Uranus. And then the day after, Venus is going to move into Aquarius. Before we dive into your reading, I would like to say thank you to our sponsor, Psychic Source. Psychic Source has been one of the most trusted names in spiritual guidance for over 35 years, connecting people with truly gifted advisors through phone, chat, or video. If you're not satisfied with your last paid reading, they'll make it right with their satisfaction guarantee. Right now, Psychic Source is giving my viewers an exclusive offer. You can get 40 minutes for just $19.80 using my code Violetta. Just go to trypsychicsource.com/Violetta or click the link in the description or take a look at the pinned comment down below. When you're finished, and if you're feeling generous, let me know how your call went by commenting down below in the comment section. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started with your weekly reading. Hey Aries, welcome to your weekly reading between the 11th through the 17th of January 2025. I'm excited to get into it and to see what this week has in store for you. So let's go ahead and take a look. Show me Aries. What's going on for Aries between January 11th through to the 17th? All right. The Queen of Swords and reverse, and the Seven of Swords reverse at the bottom of the deck. All right, let's see what else. The Fool, the Wheel of Fortune reverse, the Two of Pentacles, the Two of Wands reversed. I see exactly what's going on. The Temperance reversed. There's a new journey that you really want to start out on, but you're second guessing yourself, or you may not really be telling anyone, and you may not be telling anyone because there's some level of guilt that you feel. Maybe you are wanting to move across the country, but you fear that your parents or your friends are going to guilt trip you out of that, whatever it is. So you're kind of just quiet about it. You're quiet and you're right there. You're just at the tip of the iceberg. You're ready to have this new adventure this week, but then something stops you. Wheel of Fortune reverse. It's like you have some kind of setback, or you have someone who is trying to convince you to stay in a situation or to do things the same in the way that you've always done them. But Mars is in Capricorn right now. I don't think that you're going to be interested in that. I think what you're going to be interested in are things that have longevity, things that have a foundation, things that you have to work hard for, things that make sense to you. So let's say that you're wanting to get out of a relationship and you have a partner who's guilt tripping you about that, or you're afraid that they're going to guilt trip you about that. There's something that you want to leave or something that you're wanting to go to, but there's someone else who's trying to convince you otherwise. It's almost like someone else is trying to keep you small. Is it yourself? Are you convincing yourself to stay where you are through a sense of comfort or what? But the thing is that you've already acquired the wisdom from the trials and tribulations that you've already been through in 2025, even maybe in the beginning of January, but you're not really using them to the best of their ability. I am going to clarify that because I'm curious, but that Two of Pentacles tells me that, well, you know what? Maybe I don't need to do that. Maybe I don't need to travel cross country. Maybe I don't need to leave my crappy relationship. You know, I can handle it. I can handle it. Well, how long is too long? Because that Two of Wands reverse to the Temperance reverse tells me that you're afraid. There's a fear of coming out of some comfort zone that you desperately need or want, in my opinion, both, in my opinion. Because that Temperance reverse is a sense of discontentment. You're not content. You don't feel at peace, you know? I think this Fool card is the pathway to your peace, the pathway to new adventures and these things. But you're stuck. You think you're stuck. Why is that Queen of Swords reversed? The Knight of Cups. Is it love? There's a truth that you have inside of you, a truth that you know. But with that Seven of Pentacles reverse, you feel like it would be a waste of time for some reason, or you feel like some creative pursuit would be a waste of time. I think that thinking about it as a waste of time is a waste of time. Because either you're wanting to be honest about your feelings towards another person, or you're wanting to be more creative, or maybe you're wanting to start some kind of creative business or write that book or whatever it may be, tell that person that you love them. But you're in your head about it. You're in your head about it. What's that Wheel of Fortune reversed? Oops. I said that Four of Pentacles wanted to come out. Tell me about that Wheel of Fortune reverse, please. The High Priestess. There's like this unlimited potential that you have this week. I mean, you know, what do we have this week? We have Mercury opposite Jupiter. We have Venus trine Uranus. We have Venus sextile Saturn. We have Venus moving into Aquarius on the 17th. Like, I'm kind of wondering, like, if you're an Aries rising, Venus is your 7th house ruler. Is it about your relationships? Because there's so much potential here and something that you know that you want, something that you believe in, but you're either convincing yourself or someone else is convincing you not to go after it. And I don't know if that's a bad thing or a good thing, because I don't know really what the thing is. What, okay. What happens if Aries goes after this thing? The Knight of Pentacles reversed. The King of Swords reversed. Okay. The Ace of Cups reversed. You end up feeling drained and picked apart. What's that Fool doing here? The Justice reverse. It feels like you want to seek justice in a situation, but your emotions are wrapped up in it. And so you keep going about things in the normal way that you do, in the normal way that you usually would. Even though intuitively you feel like it's wrong. So you keep going about the motions. Like there's something that doesn't sit right with you, but you're letting it go. Kind of, but not really. It's not really letting it go. It's just shoving it down. But something doesn't sit right with you. It's like somebody's gaslighting you, trying to manipulate you out of a situation. What are we supposed to be doing with that Two of Wands reversed? What's the advice for that? The Knight of Swords. You're supposed to speak your mind about something. What do you want Aries to go after? Okay, that one fell out by itself. The Seven of Pentacles reversed. Something that is going to be a good investment, something that is going to be worthwhile. Like if you've already invested, let's say, in a business for like 10 years and you're like at this point paying more money than you're making, it's like, maybe it's time to call it quits, you know, or maybe it's a relationship, something. But it's asking you to figure it out, you know, for lack of a better term. So it's time to mutable. Try to keep an open mind with whatever this is, because there's clearly some level of discontent here, and I think that you're losing your patience. So it's telling you not to sit around. It's telling you to act on it, and you may be surprised. You have mutable and resurrection. Shake off the past and rise again. Reinvent yourself, and you will rise up from the ashes even more powerful. So, like, this is confirmation for me that if you allow yourself just to surrender to whatever this is, to be able to let go of control of whatever or whomever this is, that is when you are going to find the most power. I mean, your ruler, or Mars rules Aries. It's in Capricorn. It's exalted. Hello. Jupiter is exalted. Love that. Like, we have some great transits going on this week, and I really want you to take advantage of it. Like, don't let this thing hold you back. If you're seeking revenge, I don't think, you know, or you feel wronged by somebody, don't stay there. That's going to be their karma to pay, not yours. Okay? So you have to kind of move on, and you have to keep an open mind and either find or create relationships, situations, businesses, hobbies, whatever, that's going to pay you back in dividends, okay? So thank you so much, Aries. I really appreciate you being here. If you would like to book a one-on-one session with me, text and call, you can visit hipsy.com/Violetta Alexis and follow me there. If you would like a pre-recorded reading, you can check out my website at violettaalexis.com. Thanks a lot, Aries, and I'll talk to you soon. Have a great week. Okay, Taurus, it is your turn to see what is going on for you between January 11th through to the 17th. Let's go ahead and take a look. Show me Taurus. Show me Taurus. Okay. Three of Swords reversed for the energy. Lovers reversed at the bottom of the deck. The World. Okay. The Three of Wands. Some of you are planning a trip, or someone is planning to come see you. The Queen of Cups. Okay. The Strength card. Dang. The Two of Cups reversed. All right. The Six of Pentacles. Wow. Okay. Wow, I'm really not mad at that. Lovers reversed. King of Cups reversed. I definitely think that you've had a bit of a disconnect from someone that you felt was manipulating you, not really being honest with you about their feelings. And I think you're just kind of over it with that Three of Swords. Okay. And I don't think that you're over it in this, like, please, I'm over it. I don't think it's like that. It feels mature because that World is here. And the World is Saturn. Saturn is very grown up. It's very mature. That's why we get a little bit more mature after we have our Saturn return, right? And so you're of this energy of, okay, I've learned my lessons. I need closure, or I'm creating closure for myself. I'm ready to see. I'm ready to open up my heart. Maybe this is around the same person. I have no idea, but you're feeling very, like, you just feel good. You feel good. You feel confident. You're emotionally restrained, but not in a negative way. You're emotionally restrained in a way where you're not crying all over yourself. You're not making these crazy, you know, confessions of love online and tweeting about all of your like, you're very emotionally mature, very emotionally sound this week, you know, and your ruler Venus is having a lot of good things going on for her this week. You know, she's going to be making a sextile towards Saturn, making a trine to Venus, making a trine to Uranus in your sign. Big deal. I feel like it's unexpected surprises that make you feel good. And I think that you're trying to refrain from having any misunderstandings with another person, because I think that there's you and someone else have not really, like, you've clicked, but it's almost like you and this person speak a different language sometimes, or your love styles are different, or there's maybe a lot of miscommunications, misunderstandings, or something doesn't always sit well with you, you know? And I think with that Six of Pentacles, you're probably receiving something. I would imagine you are receiving something. Now, it could be of monetary value. Someone could be trying to help you out. Maybe somebody is buying you flowers, you know, whatever it is. But you are overcoming some level of heartache that you have likely been holding on to for a while. What about that Three of Swords reverse? Why is it there? The Nine of Pentacles. You are overcoming codependency. Yes. You are overcoming some level of codependency, some issues around money, your value, where your value lies. If you have been too dependent on others, whether that's emotionally or financially, you feel good about you. Tell me about that world and that Three of Wands. What are we doing here? What are we doing here with that world and Three of Wands? The Hangman. Oof. Give me one more. That is so gorgeous. You know what's really interesting about this is I'm thinking of that Saturn-Neptune conjunction that we're having in Aries, which is going to be in February of this year. I think it's exact on the 17th, but I know they're conjunct, you know, at 0 degrees on the 14th as well. So Valentine's Day. And the Hangman is Neptune. And the world, which is right here, is Saturn, like I said. And so I feel like you're on the precipice of something, some kind of dream. You're getting ready to structure. You're getting ready to monetize, or a relationship. Maybe you meet somebody abroad, right? Like, for instance, if you're a Taurus rising, that would mean that Mars rules your 7th house, 12th house, foreign lands, intimate partnerships. Maybe you get a proposal. Maybe that's what this is. Some of you could be getting a proposal. Maybe some of you receive a letter or a gift, something. And this is something that I believe is going to last a long time. It's changing your perspective on not what is true for you, but what could be true for you. Why is that Two of Cups reversed? The Tower. What's the guidance for that? The Page of Wands. I would try to keep things as lighthearted as possible. I think that for some of you, you have realized when you gave too much emotionally, or you invested too quickly, or, you know, you spilled your guts. Maybe you used to be somebody who was an oversharer, or used to trauma dump or something, you know, guilty, right? So maybe it's that, but you're refraining from that now because you've had some wake-up call that not everyone deserves your time. Not everyone deserves that level of emotional investment from you. And so you've learned how to hold back in a healthy way. Sagittarius, I feel like love could be coming from a distance, because what I meant to say is you have Mars transiting, right? The ruler of your 7th house if you're a Taurus rising, transiting through your 9th house. This could be lovers from abroad, or lovers just simply at a distance. A plane ride away is kind of the 9th house, right? 3rd house is more of like a car ride away, okay? But I feel like this is asking you to be optimistic, focus on travels, focus on exploring your options in whatever way you see fit. And then it says adapt and thrive. Luck flows with change. Stay flexible, embrace shifts, and learn from the journey as answers reveal themselves. So if you do have an opportunity to connect with somebody at a distance, to learn something, to explore, an opportunity for some kind of adventure, go ahead and do it, okay? So that's what I have for you, Taurus. Thank you guys so much. If you would like a one-on-one session with me, like a text or a call, you can visit hipsy.com/Violetta Alexis. If you would like to book a pre-recorded reading with yours truly, you can visit my personal website at violettaalexis.com. All of the information is in the description box below, as well as the pinned comment. Thanks a lot, Taurus. I hope it's going to be a great week for you. All right, Gemini, you're up. Let's see what's going on for you between January 11th through to the 17th. See here. Show me Gemini from January 11th through to the 17th, 2026. The bottom of the deck, we have the Magician reverse and the Fool reverse. You could be hesitating because there's some level of self-doubt that you have in regards to a specific situation or what it is that you're trying to manifest. The Seven of Swords reversed. Okay. The Ace of Wands. Feels like you're thinking before you're acting. The Four of Swords. The Nine of Swords. A lot of sword energy. The Chariot reversed. The Moon reversed. This is a very fear-based reading to me. There's a lot of hesitation on your end regarding something that you're wanting to pursue. It seems like you're pretty motivated to have a new adventure or to venture out in some way. You seem to be pretty inspired, but at the same time, it's like either you have some level of guilt or some level of hesitation because something that you're doing is affecting your conscience. I don't know if you think that, you know, someone else is going to be hurt by some new thing that you're wanting to do, or maybe it's just sometimes the Seven of Swords reverse can be where we're really needing to focus on oneself. We're needing to worry about the self as opposed to what everybody else needs or wants. And so there could be some hesitation because of that. It seems like whatever you're beginning, whatever you're starting, while yes, it is very inspiring, you're kind of doing a double take or you're taking a second thought to it because there are worries. I think there's a lot of insecurities that you have around this thing on whether or not it's going to fail, whether or not the control is really in your hands. And that Moon reverse tells me that you're either A, suppressing a lot of your fears, or you are revealing your fears to another person. You may also be trying to let go of said fears as well. So I think a lot of it comes from self-doubt because of that Magician reversed. It's like, you know, you need to do something, but there's a fear of scarcity, or you're not talented enough, or you're not good enough. Why the hesitation with that Fool reversed? Why the hesitation? The Death card. Okay. I think that there's something else you're feeling like you need to end before, or finish, or change before you begin. And it seems like you are hesitant to begin because you know there's something still lingering here. Tell me what that Seven of Swords reversed is. The Ace of Cups reversed. This is definitely, I don't want to say it's selfish. I don't think it's selfish necessarily in a negative way, but you're needing to be selfish. I think that something else has changed or ended in your life. And there's kind of this, it's like you're on the, not on the fence, but almost like in purgatory to something new. Like you're standing between two worlds. You're standing in this world and you're standing in another world. And it's like you kind of need to, you know, make a decision. But you're not really trusting the process. What's the Ace of Wands about? The Ten of Swords. So so that's what this is. There was a really crazy ending that occurred. And it can be that you feel guilty about it, okay? For some of you, that can be what it is. It can be that you're feeling guilty about how something ended, or it's on your mind, you know, and if it's not necessarily guilt, then it may be you feeling very inspired to tell the truth about something or be very honest about what it is that you've been feeling. If you guys have been betrayed by another person, then I think this is where you kind of flip the switch and you're like, I have to do this for me. Maybe you have been selflessly giving to other people too much. And now you're like, okay, like I know that this is weird or whatever, but I have to kind of split this, or I have to let this go. I have to heal, etc. And there is naturally some fear around that. Tell me about that Nine of Swords. Tell me about that Nine of Swords, please. The Eight of Wands reverse. It's causing you to delay progress. I think that if you're wanting to confess or say something to someone, I think that for a lot of you, there's fear around how that conversation is going to go. If this is around travel, you could be worried about that. Maybe you're worried about some kind of travel plans. Maybe you are, again, concerned about some kind of conversation that you're going to have. Because it feels like with that Seven of Swords and the Moon reverse, there is a truth that you want to tell. I'm scared to ask what it is. Six of Pentacles reverse and the Lovers. It could be around because the Gemini, the Lovers can be Gemini, and so with that Six of Pentacles reverse, it kind of makes me wonder if you are second guessing or thinking about what your worth or what your value is, or how much energy you want to keep giving to something or someone. Tell me about that Moon reversed. Tell me about that Moon reverse, please. Thank you. The Knight of Wands. So you're wanting to overcome your fear and take action towards something, but you have to come out of your comfort zone. I think a lot of you are making travel plans, okay? That is definitely for some of you, especially because this week we're seeing your ruler in an opposition with Jupiter, and that can certainly be like, you know, us being a little bit wishy-washy about either a conversation that we're needing to have. There can definitely be some arguments or disagreements in regards to your beliefs versus somebody else's, etc. But it can also be delayed travel plans or deciding whether or not you want to travel. What's the guidance for all of this? The Hermit reversed. The Five of Pentacles. Don't abandon your sense of identity when you're feeling challenged or when you feel like your worth is low. It's really a mentality that you're needing to adopt, knowing that you are worthy. You have done a lot of work to get where it is that you are, and needing to kind of own that. Your Oracle, North Node and Behind the Veil. Welcome uncertainty as opportunity for growth and be okay with not knowing. So it may be that you don't know how someone's going to react. You don't know where this trip is going to take you. Just go, you know, with that North Node. Now, I'm not telling you to do something stupid or spend all your money or your savings, or, you know, say something that's really going to piss someone off, but go towards the thing. It's okay not to know, you know. And I tell clients this all the time, like, you know, tarot and astrology, it's always about the future. What's coming, what's coming, what's coming. And sometimes it's just better just really not to know. Could you imagine if you were born with like the date that you were going to die tattooed on your body? That'd be all you could ever think about, right? Not much fun. So that's what I have for you, Gemini. Thank you guys so much. I do hope you will like, share, comment, and subscribe. If you would like a one-on-one session with me, text or call, you can visit hipsy.com/Violetta Alexis. I'm available every day except Sunday between 5 to 9 p.m. EST. If you're interested in booking a reading, you can visit my website at violettaalexis.com. All of that information can be found in the description box below. Thanks a lot, Gemini. Make it a good one. All right, Cancer, it is your turn. Let's go ahead and see what is transpiring for you between January 11th through to the 17th. 2026. I can't even believe I'm saying that right now. 2026. Wow. The overall energy for you, the Five of Wands and the Four of Pentacles is behind that. It feels to me like you're trying to avoid or refrain from some kind of drama. However, it seems to persist because it's in your energy. The Ten of Wands. Definitely a lot going on. Things could feel pretty heavy between you and other people, especially regarding certain responsibilities. The Page of Cups reversed. You could even be feeling victimized a little bit in the situation. Like, I definitely think that there's a little bit of competition or some struggle happening. And while I think that you're putting in the work, you're also feeling a little sorry for yourself. You know, like definitely relatable. I get it. Two of Pentacles reverse. I think that for some of you, you could be feeling a little confused on where you stand with someone as well with that Two of Pentacles reverse. I want to say be cautious of burnout, either when it comes to work, when it comes to taking on the majority of the emotional labor between you and someone else, because you may kind of feel like you are fighting a losing battle, and it may start to feel like it's something you can't really handle. Ace of Swords reversed. Okay, you may either be delaying a conversation or kind of shutting down. You don't really seem to want to bring something back up. You may be either A, avoiding accountability, or there's some kind of truth that you're needing to own, either about yourself, about the reality of a work situation, the reality of a relationship. Three of Cups. And I feel like you have some really good support here from people, friends, groups, communities, people that really understand you and have a level of emotional intelligence that fits yours and suits yours as well. I would definitely be cautious though, because while I don't think that you necessarily want any kind of drama, it seems to persist regardless. So I do want to see why that Five of Wands is there. Why is that Five of Wands in Cancer's energy, please? Oops, thank you. The Nine of Cups reversed. You definitely feel like all of this competition and all of this fight or whatever it is, and you're still not getting what it is that you want. You're still not feeling fulfilled, okay? Because the Five of Wands can be competition. It's where we're really fighting, really trying to either be heard, or we are stepping up to the plate and competing in our line of work or for love or whatever it may be, yet our hands are empty. That's kind of what those cards in combination mean. And so I want to see Queen of Swords. Yeah, look, Queen of Swords, Queen of Wands reverse. This can be between a couple of different feminine energies, or somehow these feminine energies can be directly related to whatever the drama is. I do want to see that Ten of Wands and why it's here for you. The Hierophant. So I think that this is likely around a relationship, or there can be a relationship that you have to a mentor. It can feel like this person is, you know, they run a tight ship, perhaps. If this Hierophant is not you, they run a tight ship and they're forcing you to accept some level of responsibility that you may not be interested in really taking on. You're doing it anyway. Okay, is what I will say. If it's not a mentor that's like pushing you to do this, then I would definitely say that it can be your education. You can feel like you have a lot to study, you have a lot to work on. Maybe it's a lot of spiritual work that you're doing as well. Okay, or a relationship, like I said. Why is the Page of Cups reversed? Why is the Page of Cups reversed? The Six of Wands, again, it's like I said, you know, you feel like you are doing all of this work and you're not really getting anything out of it. I feel like this is going to take time. Okay. The thing is that you're on the precipice of something. You're right there. You're at the finishing line, and then you want to kick the bucket. You know, you're like, oh God, I don't want to do this anymore. You know, and you may kind of feel like dropping it. You're kind of kicking the can down the street. Like, don't give up just yet, because you really are on the brink of something. Now, I'm not saying give in to an abusive relationship or drama. That's not what I'm saying. If that's what you think that this is, no, put that out of your mind, okay? But you are there. You're very close. And then you're going to start something brand new that's likely to be very passionate for you, that will likely bring you some level of recognition. I do want to see what that Ace of Swords reverse is about. The Hangman. It's really about perspective. The thing is that we don't really know how close we are to something until we see the light, so to speak, right? We can feel like we're in this really dark tunnel, and we can feel like it's never going to end. We're never going to get out on the other side. But we don't always know how close we are to coming out on the other side. And so I think you're like, I don't really know if I want to do this anymore or make any sacrifices. I feel like if it is studying or work or working with a mentor, I feel like you're very close. Okay. I feel like you're needing a higher perspective of something, but you don't quite know whether or not something is a part of your purpose. Tell me about that Judgment reversed. The Knight of Swords reversed. There's a lack of clarity, in my opinion. And I think that you're asking friend groups, like, do you think that this is for me? I want to see. What should we do about that 10 of Wands here? What should Cancer do about this 10 of Wands? The Empress reversed. So needing to understand your worth in regards to something. The Tower reversed. Okay. One more. The King of Swords. So I feel like you have somebody on your side that is trying to teach you how to let go of something, that's trying to teach you change. If you guys have been feeling like there is a lack of self-love, a lack of self-worth, like you keep giving more than you really can, or ask yourself why you are giving something to someone or something in the first place. Are you doing it because you want some level of validation? Are you doing it because you want sex? Are you doing it because, you know, there's going to be something in it for you? Ask yourself why you're doing something, because I feel like the why matters more than the what. Okay. And only you can determine on whether or not this is good for you. Neptune. And enjoy the journey. So Neptune can be about a lot of things. Neptune is also the Hangman. So the Hangman is about perspective. I feel like you're needing to change your outlook. Instead of focusing on what's at the end of the road, the light at the end of the tunnel, try to embrace each moment fully in your life, especially because it says enjoy the journey. So stay open to new experiences. What can you learn? What new people can you meet? And try to take your focus off of the end game. Not with everything, but with this specifically. Okay. So Cancer, that is what I have for you. Thank you guys so much. I hope you will like, share, comment, and subscribe. If you would like to book a one-on-one session with me, call or text spontaneously, you can do so at hipsy.com/Violetta Alexis. If you would like to book a full reading with me, you can visit my website at violetaalexis.com. Thanks a lot, Cancer. Make it a good one, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye for now. Okay, Leo, let's go ahead and see what January 11th through to the 17th has in store for you. Show me what's going on for Leo between January 11th through to the 17th, 2026. All right, let's see. Your energy, the Wheel of Fortune is your energy, so I like that. But underneath is the Four of Wands reversed. Okay, definitely kind of stuck on the past a little bit. Maybe having a hard time coming out of your comfort zone. Maybe this energy, being very focused on a relationship, especially if there's been some negative memories or melancholy between you and another person. The 10 of Cups. Oh my goodness gracious, I love this. The Four of Cups reversed. The King of Pentacles. So relationships, family look absolutely splendid. I'm just going to be very honest with you. I feel like work is doing really well. You could be also focused on your physical appearance, focused on your money. If you are this King of Pentacles, then I would say you're showing up pretty good. Very generous, taking care of your responsibilities. It seems like you're just up for whatever. Whatever happens, happens. You're not trying to force anything. You're not trying to control anyone. It just seems like you've acquired a lot of wisdom from this line of thinking. So it's about kind of letting go of the past, spending more time with the ones that you love. If there's been some kind of negative situation between you and other people, or if you've kind of had a negative mind frame around relationships or a particular relationship, I do feel like you're very much coming out of that. And you're like, you know what? I'm just going to take responsibility for what I have to take responsibility for. And that's that. You seem to be very emotionally fulfilled. That Seven of Pentacles reverse, you could be leaning away from something that you've been invested in for a while because you're realizing like, okay, this just isn't going to bear fruit. Whether that is some kind of stock or, you know, maybe you have been paying somebody or, you know, maybe it's been a relationship. I don't know what it is. I mean, relationships look pretty good, but You don't seem to be, dang, King of Cups. If you are a feminine that is attracted to masculine energy, even if you're a masculine attracted to masculine energy, if you are a feminine here, I would say that for some of you, you have a couple of options. If it's not that and you don't have a couple of options, then I would likely say that this would be the same person who's showing up for you in a very emotionally mature way and also very financially supportive. Some of you could decide to stop investing in one particular relationship and go with another because it makes more sense on paper. Okay. For some of you, I know that was very specific. The sun reversed. It's like, regardless of whether you're a feminine or masculine. Now, if this is just you in general, I'm going to read it as you because that's how I read it. Okay. If it's on the table, I'm assuming for the most part it's you. So showing up in the way that you're supposed to, I think that because you're feeling like you have to stop investing in something, or you may be feeling like, I don't really want to shine a light on my emotions right now or how I'm feeling, you could be kind of not shutting down emotionally, but you're not, like, your emotions are not necessarily on display. You're kind of holding the fort, you're holding it down, you're being very strong, emotionally intelligent, emotionally secure. I do like it. I am curious about what that sun reversed is, because the sun reversed is usually still a pretty happy card, but it can be somebody who is still feeling a little pessimistic, or somebody who's trying to keep the optimism through their pessimism, not wanting to shine a light on something. So tell me about that Seven of Pentacles reversed. What are we not investing in anymore? What are we not investing in anymore for the Leo? The Eight of Cups. Something that you've already walked away from before, or something or someone that has walked away from you. Because you want to find something more fulfilling, okay? And you're not getting what you want out of a situation. You may have kind of felt like, okay, this is an illusion. You know, it can be something as simple as like, you know, you fell for a pyramid scheme, you know, and this was something that like a friend tried to get you in before, and you're like, yeah, I don't know. You circled back, right? Jupiter is retrograde after all. And you're like, oh, well, maybe. And then you're like, yeah, no, never mind. You know, whatever it may be. Give me one more. The Two of Cups. Okay, so for some of you, if you are in a relationship or a marriage, if you have done this like back and forth with somebody, I feel like you might be done with that. Okay. I feel like you may be done with that. You want true love, and I think that it seems like you're ready for it. You may have it already, and you're very well aware, and so that's why you're kind of sticking to it. My goodness. Okay. Why is that Four of Cups reversed? Or what was that originally from here or about? The Five of Cups reversed. So there's forgiveness here between you and another person that seems to be going really well. And you're very much showing up as a stable force in this person's life. There can be some financial commitments that you're adhering to, and you seem to be doing it very well. Okay. You're very sure on who or what you want to invest in, which means that you may have to give up something else. Why is the sun reversed? Why is the sun reversed? The Emperor. Wow. Queen of Swords and the Nine of Wands reversed. You know, I think that a little bit of faith can get you in the door with something or someone. You're showing up as very masculine. Okay. So for my ladies, you know, if you're a feminine, you might need to reverse this. Okay. Four kings equate to an emperor. Well, we have two here. Okay. You're not quite there, but you're getting there. And you have every intention on working towards that specific goal. I think that you have some pessimism in regards to how far you can really take something, or how masculine you are, how much of a provider you are. So there are doubts, but I feel like you're very much on the precipice of something. I feel like here, the reason why that you're doubting something is because of what someone is telling you. There seems to be a feminine here who is kind of making you second guess yourself, or making you think like, well, maybe I should just give up, because you feel like this woman or this feminine energy is making a lot of sense. Okay. What's the advice for this? The Queen of Cups reverse. I feel like trust needs to be built or rebuilt in a situation. It's going to take work. This is going to take real honest to God work, okay? In order to bring something to the next level. So, temperance, and it needs to be reciprocal. There needs to be peace, but this peace is only going to be found through maturity and honest to God work. The standards have to be set higher than what they have been. Your oracle, the South Node. Cancer got the North Node. Take great care, nurture yourself, prioritize well-being, and tread gently on your journey ahead. What are you asking Leo to let go of with that South Node? The Page of Pentacles. Okay. If you have been playing small, or if you've been doing something like weaponized incompetent, weaponized incompetence, you know, where you maybe pretend like you don't know how to do something, or you do it bad when somebody asks you so they don't ask you again, whatever it may be, in any way that you've been playing small, no more of this. There is no more of this. This kind of energy cannot come with you, with where you're going, and certainly not where you plan on going. So definitely take care of yourself, nurture yourself, and you have a long journey ahead of you, but it's going to be up to you whether or not it's worth it. Okay. So Leo, that is what I have for you. Thank you guys so much. I hope that you will like, share, comment, and subscribe. If you would like to book a one-on-one session with me, call or text spontaneously, you can do so at hipsy.com/Violetta Alexis. If you would like to book a reading with me, you can do so at violettaalexis.com. Thanks a lot, Leo, and I'll talk soon. Bye. Hello, Virgo. Welcome to your week of January 11th through to the 17th. Let's go ahead and see what the cards have in store for you. Show me, Virgo. Your energy is the Strength reversed, with the Three of Pentacles reversed behind that. Not feeling so confident. You can kind of be in your ego or your pride a little bit, but it just can be that you're not feeling at your best, especially regarding perhaps somebody that you're waiting on to work with, you're trying to get on the same page with. You're definitely like in your feelings a little bit about it. I like that the World is here. So this shows me that you're closing something out or finishing it. Knight of Pentacles reverse. Okay. The Three of Swords reversed. The Lovers. Wow. Okay. The Justice reverse. What an interesting spread. The Queen of Swords. Okay. So you seem to be thinking with your logical mind regarding something that you feel is not fair, or you feel like, okay, this is not really equal. This doesn't really make much sense. You seem to be having a hard time making an unbiased decision around something, although it does feel like you kind of detach from whatever bias that is, specifically around people, people you're networking with, people that you're working with, or particularly a love connection or a love relationship. You still seem to be stuck on something that has hurt you a little bit. You can kind of feel like work is dragging. You're kind of bored. You are completing something though with that World there, which I like, but overall you're not feeling too confident about what it is that you're doing, giving into, or where it is that you're going. That Knight of Pentacles reverse is a lot of stagnancy. Okay. So it kind of makes me wonder if you just want to do something else with your time, with your energy. You can be being very critical of yourself during this time. Like something that you complete, you're looking back at it and you're like, oh God, this isn't good enough. You know, maybe you write a draft and then you go back and you pick it apart, and it actually stops you from just like moving forward onto the next thing, is kind of what I'm getting here. It does feel like this healing is taking you to this higher self decision. Now, the decision that you're making is based around your beliefs, your values, your morals. You may be deciding to disconnect from something because it doesn't align with who you truly are. I heard, I've seen this show before. Okay. Mm. I feel like there's probably a missed opportunity. You don't feel like you and somebody else are really on the same page. Why is that strength reversed? Why is that strength reversed? The Four of Pentacles. You may feel like somebody's being very stingy with you. You may feel like somebody is holding back, okay? Or you could just honestly feel like money's a little tight, so you're not really feeling yourself. I could definitely see that. You may not be feeling confident in regards to your work or your finances at this time. What's that world about? Goodness gracious. What is that world about, please? Thank you. The Seven of Wands reversed. So if you have been directly competing in a situation, or you felt like you had to constantly defend yourself in a situation, that's done. Okay. So there's no more trying to defend your position on something. There's no more of this, like, you know, if like, let's say at work, if you know, maybe there's some catty people at your job or something like that, and you're like, I'm just not playing that game anymore. Whatever it is, the world is Saturn. So it really is about taking a mature route to something. Okay. So I want to see what that Knight of Pentacles reversed is. The Devil reversed. Okay, it's perfectionism, in my opinion, that's kind of killing the vibe. That's what this looks like to me, because you're of this mind of like, I'm not good enough, or something isn't good enough, or I don't look good enough, or my work isn't good enough, whatever. And this is really about getting out of your own way, because it's like, if you're always this like work in progress, you really don't make as much progress as you think that you're making. And so I feel like there's a deep wound around that, around not feeling enough in some way. And I feel like you overcome that, in my opinion. What's this Lovers about? The Seven of Cups reversed. So this is about getting very real. Let me see here. This is about getting very real in regards to what it is that you're wanting to build. Oh my God, my freaking cat. Valeria, stop. She gets jealous when I'm talking to my camera. It's absolutely ridiculous. So you're making a choice in regards to love. You're making a choice in regards to your morals and your values, especially if something doesn't align with it. And so you're thinking like, where does my worth lie? And what is it that I want to become? Where is it that I want to go? What do I want to build? And that Justice reverse makes me feel like this is a disconnect, because your decisions are, your decisions are coming from like kind of like a moral high ground. Six of Pentacles reverse. I think that you feel like someone or something is not giving you what you're worth. Remember, we saw this. Okay, you want to hold back. Okay, you want to act like I'm invisible, or whatever the thing is. You know, maybe it's money. Okay, maybe it's just money. You may be disconnecting from something that's costing you money, that is costing you your self-worth, your self-esteem, costing you your energy in some way. Tell me about that Queen of Swords. The Two of Swords are reversed. You're making a very definitive decision, and it is a biased decision, or it's a decision based on what you feel is right for you. So if you feel like there's some cattiness going on, if you feel like you have to compete in some way, if you don't feel good enough, or you're giving in to people, places, things that is making you constantly second guess yourself, you are learning to empower yourself through not what you have to offer with your hand, or what you look like, or your work, but who you are. What's the advice for this? The Queen of Wands reversed. The Two of Wands. This is about taking the lead in your own life. If you are feeling jealous or intimidated by others because you're doing this like weird comparison thing, that's gotta go. Queen of Wands reverse, Two of Wands, King of Wands reverse. This can be both your masculine and feminine energy combined. So what decision can you make this week that could change the trajectory of your life and who you're trying to become and what you're trying to do. We have Jupiter, and then we have higher wisdom. So this is about seeing something not from a super critical point of view, right? Like Mercury, nothing wrong with Mercury, but Mercury is the opposite of Jupiter, right? Mercury is the lower mind, Jupiter the higher mind. So how can you look at something from a different perspective and a higher octave or a bird's point of view to be able to really expand your horizons from where you've been to where you're supposed to go? So that is what I have for you, Virgo. Thank you so much. If you would like to call or text me, if you would like a one-on-one session, you can find me at hipsy.com/Violetta Alexis. If you would like to book a personal reading, you can go to violettaalexis.com. All of the information can be found in the description box below. Thanks a lot, Virgo, and take care. Make it a good one. Bye for now. Okay, Libra, let's see what's going on for you between January 11th through to the 17th. Show me Libra, please. The Magician reverse, the Justice reverse. Okay, well, you feel like you don't have everything you need in order to create the reality that you want, essentially, is really what that is. And to be honest with you, you feel like either A, something was taken from you, or you experience some level of misfortune that is causing you to doubt yourself. It really is self-doubt. And I don't think it's like, I'm not saying that external forces or external realities have not made you feel that way, but it really is a mental thing. And I say that because the Magician is Mercury, which is about the mind. So I want you to be careful of your thought life this week. We have the Nine of Pentacles. That's good. So when it comes to looking good and feeling good, smelling good, you have it on lock. Just try to make sure that you don't let your mind frame start to wear you out or wear you down or make you second guess yourself, because I could definitely see that happening. The Seven of Wands reversed. Ace of Cups reversed. I feel like you have some haters. I think you have some haters. Ace of Swords reversed. The Tower. The Moon reverse. Something is going to kind of rock your socks off a little bit, okay? Now, you know, tarot tends to make things so dramatic, as does astrology. So try to take it with a grain of salt. But it does feel like you are looking good. You are feeling good. You're smelling good. You're focused on your body, your physical health, or, you know, the way that you look, your money, you're working smarter, not harder. It's like you're enjoying your life. And I definitely feel like somebody is trying to, you know, take a piss in your Cheerios, for lack of a better term, and trying to make you feel bad about that, trying to make you feel bad about how you feel about yourself or the way that you make money. Like, for instance, I remember this one guy tried to shame me because I started a tarot business and I was a tarot reader, you know? And it was just because he liked me. And so he was just trying to make me feel bad about it because, yeah, whatever. And so I feel like you have somebody that's doing this. Somebody sees you just living your life, minding your business, and they want to challenge that, or they feel intimidated by that. So they have to knock you down a peg. And so I feel like what it's really doing is it's draining you, which I think is this person's intention. I think that it's making you second guess yourself, which I think is this person's intention. But there is something bigger going on internally. And I think it is trying to force you to double down on what you believe to be true about yourself. Are you really who you say you are? Are you really happy with your job? Are you really enjoying your life? You know, it's trying to test the foundation of you and your confidence level. It's supposed to do that because something here is trying to make you unshakable. So I think that you're going to realize a lot of things this week. I think you're likely going to realize that you're probably going to come out on top in a lot of situations. So yeah, because it feels like somebody is not being very fair to you. Like they're trying to push a certain narrative that is not necessarily true. Why is the Magician reversed? Why is the Magician reversed? Thank you. The Fool. Wow. So again, you know, the Fool has to do with trusting yourself, trusting the universe. And I do think that there's self-doubt here because other people are trying to plant seeds of doubt in your mind. So a lot of this has to do with your mindset and what you believe to be true and your infinite potential, because you have that just like we all do. And that Fool there is saying, like, you don't trust something now. You don't trust yourself. You don't trust God, or you don't trust the universe, or whatever it is that you believe in. Because I think somebody else is challenging you. Tell me about that Seven of Wands reversed. The Four of Pentacles. I think someone is trying to make you insecure, is what it feels like. Or someone's trying to hold you back. Someone is definitely trying to hold you back. It's like they see you have like a great idea, let's say, and they're intimidated by this idea that they didn't come up with it themselves or something like that. And they're like, well, maybe you should sit on that. They want you to sit on it because they're hoping that you never reveal it, or you never use that idea, or you never take that opportunity. You know, imagine like, you know, this is a bad example, I guess, but imagine that you get a modeling contract and your boyfriend or girlfriend or whatever is like, oh, well, I don't really think that you should take that because, I mean, what is your family going to think? You know, do you really want that kind of lifestyle? You know, but it's not really that they believe that, it's that they don't want you to have that. Because then that may force them to glow up and stuff. It's an absolute insecurity. Look at the bottom of the deck. It's a total insecurity, and it is a betrayal. So I want you to be cautious of whose advice you buy this week, okay? Or whose opinion you take. If you wouldn't trade places with them, I'm not saying that. I think that everybody has something to teach us, but, you know, use discernment, I think. Tell me about that Ace of Swords reversed. The Ten of Cups. You may be second guessing now a relationship that you're in and whether or not you were actually fulfilled. And so this is somebody who's either a family member or someone that you are in a romantic relationship with, or you have been in a romantic relationship with. Maybe you're in a situationship. And so now you're like, oh, I don't really know if I want this. Tell me about that Tower. The Three of Wands reverse. It's kind of a full stop in regards to your plans with going with something. Okay. And see, I don't know if this person actually convinces you or not. King of Swords reverse and the Moon reverse. Somebody is gaslighting you. Somebody is gaslighting you. And I'm kind of wondering, yeah, someone's gaslighting you. Somebody is trying to make you see yourself differently. They're trying to get you to not answer the call. How quickly things shift when somebody can plant these seeds of doubt in our head. What is the advice? The Knight of Pentacles reverse. Don't critique yourself. Don't fall for the manipulation people are projecting onto you, Libra. Know who you are. The Empress. Remember who you are, Libra. Don't fall for it. Somebody sees your potential, pre-Empress energy, and it's telling you that that potential is infinite. You are a beautiful or handsome, creative being. You are the abundance. And someone knows it. Yin, being in your feminine energy. Clear the path, embrace the journey ahead with an open heart, ready to discover and grow from the revelations to come, and the revelations that they will be. My goodness gracious. Which I feel like intuitively you have probably already known. So listen to your intuition. Trust your own path. Be cautious, again, of whose advice you buy, because you got some haters, okay? So Libra, thank you guys so much for watching. If you would like a private one-on-one session with yours truly, or if you just want to book or call spontaneously, you can visit me at hipsy.com/Violetta Alexis. If you would like to book a personal reading, you can visit my website at violettaalexis.com. Thanks a lot, Libra. Make it a good one, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye for now. Okay, Scorpio, let's go ahead and see what is going on for you between January 11th through to the 17th, 2026. Show me Scorpio, please. You're in the energy of the Knight of Swords with the Three of Swords behind that. Okay, it seems like you have a lot of questions and you probably have a lot of answers. I feel like more questions than answers. You seem to be thinking about something that has hurt you or someone that has hurt you that you are still stuck on in some way. There's a lot of sword energy. Knight of Swords, Three of Swords, Eight of Swords, Four of Swords, Seven of Swords reversed. So you're definitely in your head this week. We have the Queen of Cups reversed. There's a lack of trust or trust that has been broken, and it seems like you're kind of ready to rage about it a little bit. You're really not feeling something. You're not able to let it go, really. Again, definitely in your head, having a hard time relieving some maybe anxiety or betrayal wounds that have occurred. The Devil, very stuck on what's happened in the past. Now, there's a chance, Two of Cups, there's a chance to come out of that, but there needs to be an awareness of how we got here and whatever hand you may have played in it. Now, does that mean that if you've been, abused in some way that you need to blame yourself? No, that's not what I mean. But things like, have you ignored red flags? Did you ignore your intuition? Were the signs there in the first place? And this isn't to shame yourself. This is to make sure that you just don't make this mistake again. I do see with that Two of Cups that there's some kind of reprieve and connection. It seems like you and someone else are coming together in some level of mutual understanding. Four of Cups reversed. I think that you are probably initiating this. The Five of Pentacles. You may be initiating this, but I'm going to be honest with you. It doesn't really, I don't know, that sounds crappy, right? But it doesn't really feel like it works out. I think there's a lot of negative karmic attachments between you and another individual, or just you in the past in general. Emotional connections that you may have become too attached to in some way, where it just ended up disappointing. It made you end up questioning yourself. And it feels like you may be abandoning a situation after all, okay? You may decide, someone may not respond to you. You may not respond to someone else. Well, what is the intention with that Knight of Swords there? What's the intention with that Knight of Swords for Scorpio? Thank you. The Hierophant reverse. So definitely having some questions around the differences between you and someone else. There's a lot of differences between you and another person. And I'm definitely talking about like fundamental differences. I'm talking about like politics or morals, values, things of this nature. And so I feel like you are trying to break free from something. I do think that you're having a hard time because your emotions are still in it. Although in your heart of hearts, at the end of the day, you know that something has to be dropped. Why is that Queen of Cups reversed? Although it's pretty self-explanatory. The Queen of Swords. Goodness gracious. So this really sucks. And I say that because have you ever gotten to that point where you realize that you have to not necessarily abandon your emotions from a situation, but you kind of have to cut off the supply to the heart, so to speak, and turn on the mind? Because otherwise you're going to get yourself in some hot water. That's what this kind of feels like. That's what this feels like to me. So you're trying to make some very logical decisions, although you're having a really hard time. Things may feel a little chaotic, delayed. Again, there can be a lack of response, or you don't like the response that you're getting. Someone else doesn't like the response that you're getting from them, or doesn't like the response that they're getting from you. What is that Devil about? The Nine of Wands. You need to have better boundaries in situations, I think. Because I think this is why you're here in a situation, is maybe a lack of boundaries. Or maybe for some of you, it can be that you really haven't let anyone in and you're very like attached to that narrative. And your walls can be a little bit high in the situation. Tell me about that Ten of Swords reverse, the Chariot. I feel like you really want control over your situation, but it feels like you can't really have this level of control until you detach from an outcome. Okay, because you seem to be very attached to how something is going to go, or you seem very motivated to prove your point, or and it's like, you know, if you're detached enough, you don't really have to prove your point. You know, you don't really care. You know what I'm saying? And so I think that there needs to be some level of detachment between you and something else. I do see maybe some kind of opportunity to connect with another person. Okay. Why is that Four of Cups reversed here? That flew right out. Two of Wands. Okay. All right, ears are itching. Tell me about that Five of Pentacles. The Page of Wands and the Star reversed. Page of Cups and the Justice card. All righty. Well, it seems to me that you again, you have one foot in the door and one foot out. And you're very focused on proving something, explaining something, trying to understand something. And then I feel like you either push too hard or you make the same decision as before and you kind of end up in a similar place that you were before, which is kind of like, it feels like somebody's ghosting you or you're ghosting someone else. Like, you know, there's like no real healing in the connection between you and someone else, or, you know, you're feeling very alone in some kind of way. What's the advice for this? The Six of Pentacles, knowing your value. Five of Cups. You know, I would be careful of how much you're giving to a situation, whether that's money or energy, because I feel like you could get yourself in some hot water and regret it later. You have House 9. And you have Mountain of Mastery. Ascend towards self-realization and triumph, guided by the stoic presence of the Mastery Mountain pathway. So focusing on a spiritual practice, you don't have to drill it in someone's head about your beliefs. You know, if that's something that's going on. We saw a lot of oppositions between the Sun, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, and then Mercury's doing that this coming Wednesday, whenever you see this Wednesday. So that's going to be on the 14th of January. And so there can be maybe some travel delays, maybe some miscommunications, things being blown out of proportion. And so it's asking you to operate from your higher mind or a higher perspective, a more mature perspective. Okay. Not saying that you have an immature perspective. That's just the advice. Because I feel like that this path towards self-realization and what your actual path is, you're probably going to find that this is a part of it in some way or contributes to it in some way. Okay. So Scorpio, that is what I have for you. If you would like to book a one-on-one session with me or just call or text spontaneously, then you can go ahead and visit hipsy.com/Violetta Alexis. If you would like to book a personal reading with me, then you can visit violettaalexis.com. Thanks a lot, Scorpio. Make it a good one, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye for now. All right, Sagittarius, what's going on? Let's go ahead and see what is happening for you between January 11th through to the 17th of 2026. Still can't believe it's 2026. Let's see what we have here. The Hangman. Kind of like this. You're definitely seeing things from a different perspective. I just realized my mic was way too far away. You're certainly seeing things from a different perspective. Ooh, the High Priestess. This is highly spiritual here. The Page of Swords. Wow. Some of you can be learning more about spirituality, sacred knowledge, hidden knowledge, anything to do with learning how to connect more with the occult or with tarot, astrology, even things like connecting with your intuition. You can be looking in spiritual communities for some level of guidance or perspective. Like this can definitely be this week, you know, watching tarot, taking a tarot course, booking tarot tutoring or something. There's something that you're doing that's highly spiritual, very intuitive. Damn, the Seven of Cups, Venus and Scorpio. This is giving me very creative vibes. I feel like intuitively you know what your potential is and you see it, but you understand that it's not in one specific path. You understand that there's more that you could do, and that's what you're searching for. You're keeping an open mind in regards to what others may deem to be a fantasy. You're learning how to ground it into reality. Ooh. That's church, baby. The Death reversed. You do realize that there, okay, I'm hearing for some of you, there's some health issues that you're still trying to get a hold of, okay? But with a lot of you with that, okay, all right, slow down. For some of you, if there is someone that you're grieving, understandably so, you may still have a hard time kind of with that, what is it called, transition of somebody who has passed. And if that's the case, obviously my condolences. But a lot of you just really need change in your life, and you're figuring out how to make that happen for yourself. Wow, the Lovers. Okay. I think that a lot of you are looking at your past relationships or the way that you've wanted your relationships to go, and you're saying, well, why can't I have that? Why can't I have what I want? Or why can't I be living my teenage dreams of being an author in Seattle and owning a little coffee shop? Like, why can't I? You know, because the 3D world says that's not normal. You know, there's like something that you're doing. Three of Cups reverse. I really think that you guys are making some decisions to walk away from people that places or things that are no longer giving you sustenance. I'm almost feeling like this need for sustenance, for depth, for fantasy, for understanding, for people that have, sorry, I just got done eating peanut butter toast, so make sure I don't have anything in my teeth. I know a Sagittarius would probably call it out of all of the signs. So, I think you guys are trying to also figure out who you should surround yourself with that aligns with what you want. Tell me about that Hangman. There's some sacrifices, I think. Damn, wow, this is really... Okay, I heard there's strength and compassion. You're very confident. You are very confident in what you believe to be true. And I feel like you guys have a very different perspective of other people. I think that you guys believe that you can truly have whatever you want to a degree. And again, I think, like, have you ever met, how can I explain this? Have you ever met people who were just like, oh, that's not realistic, that's silly, that's ridiculous? Like, I remember before I started tarot, there was this guy that was like, that's ridiculous, that's not a job. Okay, got it, right? Whatever, right? Like, there are some people who just kind of like kill the vibe, kill your buzz. You know what I mean? Tell me about that Death reversed. What is that about? Thank you. The Eight of Cups, something you're still walking away from, or someone or something that has left your life. And I'm almost getting this energy of like, now what? What is that, Lovers? The Two of Pentacles reversed. Some of you may end up having an option from the past come back around if that's something that you're interested in. For others of you, I kind of feel like this is about money. For some, like with that Two of Pentacles reversed to the, like both of these are decisions, right? Now, the Two of Pentacles in the upright is more practical, more realistic, you know, it's Jupiter and Capricorn, right? The Lovers is like the higher octave of something. Like, what, you know, why can't I have a 50 Shades of Grey relationship? Why not? You know, why can't I be an author in Seattle and living in my loft with my 10 cats? Why can't I, whatever? And I think that you're also realizing that this means you're needing to surround yourself with people that think this way. Oh man, I could dive into this for a while if I wanted to. What's the High Priestess? The Page of Cups reverse. Intuitively, you know you've been playing too small. If you have been feeling like a victim in a situation, or you have been playing too small, or you have been, you know, accepting these offers from people that are just on a whim or not serious or whatever, like this is the time where I feel like you're going to say goodbye to that. Okay. I do want to see what that Page of Swords is doing. The King of Cups. I feel like some of you are looking how to play bigger in the game of life. Looking how to, that King of Wands is at the bottom of the deck. I like that. Knowing who you are. Some of you are actually looking for love and you're finding it. I think that some of you are spying on, some of you may be spying on someone, but keeping it very quiet. Some of you are, some of you are fantasizing about someone from the past. Like a sexual fantasy. What's that Seven of Cups? Ace of Wands. What did I say? Like a sexual fantasy. Some of you are sexually fantasizing about someone. Okay, maybe it's someone you haven't met. Tell me about that Three of Cups reversed. The Five of Swords reversed. You're not interested in the games. You're not interested in third parties, or I mean, maybe you are for fun. You're not interested in third parties, gossip, rumors, drama. You're not interested in that. I think that your perspective is becoming your foundation for who you are. It's really about your perspective. And that's what the Sagittarius Gemini axis can really be about as well, is quite literally perspective. And so I think that's your story. You're sticking to it. What is the, and so now, it doesn't mean that you won't invite other people's perspective that don't share yours, but I don't think that you want this like practical way of thinking about love. Oh, you know, date the guy with the 9 to 5, or the woman that's going to be a homemaker or whatever. You know, maybe you want something different. I don't know. Some of you that are in a relationship already, or in a marriage, I feel like you're holding strong to a point, but you also may feel like somebody is manipulating you in some way. Okay. Although I feel like the love is very strong, or something is telling you not to, something may be telling you not to offer something to another person. So instead, you're just kind of observing and fantasizing. Could be about a dream as well. Okay, what's the advice for this? My goodness gracious, I went way too long on this. Queen of Wands reverse. The Four of Wands. And the Ten of Pentacles reversed. So in order to have longevity in situations, there does need to be some kind of practical perspective, okay? Something about it needs to be needs to look good on paper, or needs to actually be on paper, okay? This is about you taking the lead in your own life instead of just like you know, focusing on what could be and fantasizing, and all of these things are fine. It does give you perspective, but eventually you're going to need to take initiative. Okay. Cancer, maybe some of you are dealing with the Cancer, and then divine flow. Let go of attachment to the outcome and let the universe bring gifts. So Cancer is a cardinal water sign, very protective, very emotionally driven, to create their own reality, to go after what they want. And like if you're a Sagittarius rising, Cancer would be your whole sign, 8th house. Jupiter is there right now, right? So maybe for some of you, you know, it is about having the 50 Shades of Grey relationship and allowing other people to give to you, you know, learning that it's okay to accept love, or it's okay to accept money, or, you know, allow someone else to be intimate with you, or you be intimate with another person. And it's telling you to let go of the outcome and just go with the flow when it comes to the journey. Just don't try to push anything too hard. I don't think that you are, but for some reason it's telling you not to do that. Like, who's saying that you can't do day trading or invest in stocks? Not financial advice. I'm just saying, you know? So anyway, okay, so that's what I have for you, Sagittarius. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you would like to book a one-on-one session with me, or if you would like to call or text spontaneously, you can do so at hipsy.com/Violetta Alexis. If you want to book a personal reading with me, you can do so at violettaalexis.com. All the information is in the comment section down below, as well as the description box. Thanks a lot, Saggy, and I hope you make it a good one. Bye for now. All right, Capricorn, how are you guys feeling? There's so much energy in your sign right now. I can't even believe it. Take care of yourselves. I'm sure you guys feel pretty good with Mars and Venus there. So let's go ahead and see what's happening for you between January 11th through to the 17th of 2026. Can you believe it? I know I keep saying that. The Justice reversed. Okay. There's some kind of imbalance here. You may have done something wrong. Okay. For some of you, you could feel like you've done something wrong to another person, or you and someone may be having some kind of disagreement, or maybe perhaps there's some kind of legal battle going on. We have the Sun reversed. You're definitely not feeling as optimistic as you could. You know, especially with the Sun and Capricorn being ruled by Saturn, you know, it can kind of feel like a buzzkill sometimes. The Page of Pentacles is here, so there is some level of reprieve. It's not like you're just sitting there and bitching about something, or you're upset about how something is going. You're doing something about it, and it seems like you're making some level of progress. So maybe some of you guys are working out right now. Maybe you're deciding to write something new, build something new, learn something. You know, the Page of Pentacles is very much a student of life in a lot of ways, and he or she is you know, the hardest working page. So you are working on something. 8 of Wands reversed. You could feel a little blocked from getting what it is that you want. You may feel like there's more effort to put in before something can move forward. Okay. Some of you are writing something, or you're building, you're writing something, but you're like afraid to say it or send it. For some of you, that's not for all of you. The Queen of Pentacles reverse. So you're not quite where you want to be yet, and I think that that's okay. I feel like a lot of you, it's because of some kind of drama in your life, or potentially some kind of professional competition in your field in one way or another. And so you can find yourself by the end of this week maybe being a little bit more critical than you usually would, kind of finding yourself on some kind of shaky ground a little bit due to other people's influencing your mood, influencing how you do things. There is a light at the end of the tunnel with that 3 of Pentacles. You could be also a little conflicted about whether or not you want to do something solo, or whether or not you want to work or collaborate on something with another person. Whether or not you actually want to work through something and get on the same page or not. You do end up getting on the same page, or the collaboration does happen. Something happens here that's positive. The Seven of Pentacles reversed with the Eight of Pentacles. You're really questioning whether or not something is going to be worth it, or whether or not something is worth it that you've been working on. Some of you are going to decide to stop investing in one area of your life. Could be financial, could be a workout that you don't really want to invest in anymore. Could be a person, whatever it is. But there's some kind of 3D element to it. So it's something that you can touch, feel, taste, smell. I do want to see that Justice reversed. What is that Justice reversed about? The Ten of Wands reverse. So you may be feeling like you're doing all of the work in a situation. Or you may be feeling, you know what? I don't really want to take this on right now. I feel like I would be carrying the weight of whatever this is. I don't really feel like it. I want to rest. I want to relax. I'm just not really into it. So some of you don't want to accept responsibility for something because you feel like it would also require you having to do work that is outside of yourself. Okay. And this can be in regards to, and what I mean by that is like, okay, well, if I were to do, if I were to ask a favor from my mom, then I know she would have to ask she would end up asking a favor from me, and I don't want to do that, or whatever it is. Okay. Because Libra, Justice is Libra, and Libra's about how we relate to others, relationships. Why is that Sun reversed? The Nine of Swords reversed. I need one more for that. I heard projecting. You're projecting? The Nine of Cups reverse. Oh, wow. Okay. So I'm going to be honest with you, Capricorn, and, take this with a grain of salt, or if you feel like you have to reverse it, by all means. I think that you are deciding to be a little bit selfish this week, okay? You can see that when Mars and the Sun are in your sign. Doesn't matter whose sign it is. But I feel like there's a method to your madness to a point. So I feel like you are kind of like me. I don't want to accept responsibility for that shit. I'm not going to get what I want anyway. I don't want to have to worry about this, And that Page of Pentacles is there. For what reason? What are we doing here? The Six of Cups. Wow. So you're kind of putting that aside, which could be separate from this Page of Pentacles. You're giving a pretty legitimate offer, or you may be receiving a pretty legitimate offer from another person. But that Page of Pentacles would be you, in my opinion. So I feel like you're offering something. And this looks like someone that either you already know or that you want to know. It can be someone new, something new, but you feel like it has weight. Like there's something that can be gained from this connection. Why is the Eight of Wands here? Eight of Wands in reverse, Temperance. You can be having second thoughts or not really sure how to make something work or how to talk to somebody because you either don't know what to say or long distance could be an issue between you and whomever this is. I'm not saying it has to be romantic. Maybe you feel like you and this person have different beliefs or differences in opinion or something like that. Tell me about that Queen of Pentacles reversed. The Six of Wands reversed. If this is you, if that Queen of Pentacles reverses you, you can be feeling like someone is not acknowledging you, okay? And this can cause you to be very critical of yourself. For others of you, it's that you are trying to message someone or you're trying to figure out how to create something with another person, but you may take too long. And then this person is second guessing whether or not you even value them. Something like that. Tell me about that Five of Wands. The King of Pentacles. Wow, there's a lot of energy here. So there is some issues around whether or not to commit to something or to give to something. Because it feels like you're wanting to be generous with someone, but at first you're a bit conflicted. You may feel like, oh, well, you know, this person's actually going to be competition for me in my field, or, you know, what will so-and-so have to say about it? Something like that. But you push through and you do this, or someone does this to you. The Hermit reverse, you're coming out of your shell and you're reaching out to someone, in my opinion. What's the advice for this? Three of Swords reversed, the Six of Swords, and the Wheel of Fortune. So there can be some wounds that are holding you back from resolving something with someone or moving on and exploring your options. This is telling you to let go of control. You don't have to figure out the destination right now. Just have fun with what you're doing. Yang. So this is about taking initiative. Fantasyland. Make sure everyone involved is being realistic and on the same page. So I would be cautious of any boundaries getting crossed, or feeling like there are mixed messages, mixed symbols, you know, like maybe you're wanting to collaborate with somebody, but then, you know, they take it as romantic and you're like, oh, I didn't mean that. Or, you know, I'm not saying that's what it is. Okay. It's just something has to be more grounded here. Okay. So that's what I have for you, Capricorn. Thank you so much. If you would like to book a one-on-one session with me, or you would like to call or text spontaneously, you can do so at hipsy.com/Violetta Alexis. If you would like to book a personal reading with me, you can do so on my website at violettaalexis.com. Thank you so much, Capricorn. Make it a good one, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye for now. Okay, Aquarius, how are you doing? Let's go ahead and see what is going on for you between January 11th through to the 17th, 2026. Show me Aquarius. Ooh, the Star. Ooh, that's your energy. For this card to show up, that's pretty damn awesome. You have the Eight of Cups reversed behind that star. So I think you guys are revisiting some kind of dream that maybe at one time you abandoned, or perhaps you didn't think that it was possible. Some of you are going back to heal something, and I think that you're doing so successfully. This is pretty positive. The World. I love this. Saturn, your ruler, is here. Your major arcana is here. You are really in mostly your higher vibration. I mean, I'm not saying, you know, it's not coming with its things, but I think that you're learning how to let go of a lot of things, close doors that you didn't even open. You know what I'm saying? And it seems like you're taking a very grounded and mature route in regards to what it is that you want. And you're doing it in a way that, okay, I heard isn't going to cost you. Okay, so this is interesting because it's looking like you're taking a risk, or you're going on the road or path that is less traveled, but for some reason it's telling me there's not as much of a risk here, even though you think that there would be. Wow. The Knight of Pentacles. It's very grounded. It's very hopeful. I feel like for some of you, this can be a new way of making money. Some of you are deciding, like, you know what? I kind of want to travel the world, or I kind of want to maybe relocate or go to a different place. Or, okay, now I finished this thing, or I closed out this relationship, or I finished this career, and now I want to do my own thing. I want to work on something else. Six of Pentacles reverse. You may not quite be getting the pay that you want for whatever this thing is that you're working on. Or you feel like you don't really have a lot of help or energy to give others because this is what you're focused on. Hierophant reversed. I'm not very surprised to see the Hierophant reversed here, because this can definitely be like you breaking out of some system that was set up for you. Like maybe you were, you know, born into a cult, or, you know, maybe you're born into a really religious household, or, you know, maybe the society has told you that you have to be like XYZ, and you're like, no, I don't. I don't have to do any of those things. And I am not going to give my energy or adopt that narrative that you were trying to like indoctrinate me into, right? Seven of Pentacles, you're deciding what's worth your time in investing in and what's not. And there may have been some kind of investment here from the past that did like fail, I guess you could say, but you're realizing again, what is worth your time and what's not. And there can be a very unconventional, non-traditional, either relationship or way of earning money or making money here. So, and I feel like this is something from the past. You can really ground it into reality if you want. Tell me about that star. Tell me about that star, please. Okay, it's something that you didn't get before. 9 of Cups reversed. You didn't get this before because you walked away from it, or you abandoned it too quickly. And now you're getting it. And you because you're getting it, because you're at the finishing line, you finish it, etc. Now more doors and opportunities and windows are opening for you. Can you tell me about that world energy, please? Tell me about that world. Okay. The Page of Swords reversed. It can be from a social media standpoint. Like some of you are like, you know what, I don't want to be on social media anymore. I don't want to doom scroll. Some of you are finishing up some kind of educational path that you didn't really want to finish, but you did it anyway. Or for some of you, you used to have some kind of narrative in your mind, like, oh, I can't really have this, or I can't really do this, or, you know, maybe it was a more immature mind frame, or maybe it was a kind of a know-it-all mind frame, or assuming the worst. That's done. You're done with that. And because that mind frame or that perspective is changing, so are the doors that are opening for you. Tell me about that Two of Wands. The Tower reversed. I think that you've been ready for a change for a long time. And with Pluto in your sign, you know, you're going to see it regardless. So I'm kind of wondering if you're like maybe working on things behind the scenes, you know, not really telling too many people about it. The Temperance reversed. I think that at one point you were kind of all over the place, or you had your hand in a lot of different cookie jars, whether that was in regards to love or projects or things that you wanted to accomplish. And now you're like, okay, one foot in front of the other. Let me do this. I got this, etc. I may not have the support, that this may not be the most conventional path, but I know how to, you have the strength to do it. So lean on this. Here's your fixed sign brother or sister here with that Leo energy. So you have the strength to see it through, just like you did with the other thing. And even though it is not conventional, it is sustainable. The Hierophant with the Four of Cups, because you felt like something got complacent. Like, I think that there's some kind of mumbo jumbo narrative, teachings, mentors, religious or spiritual guides that you're like, I just don't really subscribe to that. I feel like there's more out there for me, and I think that's what you're going to focus on. Tell me about that. Oh. Six of Swords reversed on the Queen of Wands. It's almost as if you were about to hand the baton to someone else and you kept it and you kept running. Tell me about that Seven of Pentacles. Knight of Wands reverse. Okay, something that may have been, you may have felt like it was a pipe dream, or you really lacked passion for something in your life and you're just like, I'm not going to invest in that anymore. It's not really what I want. I'm not really confident in this path. And so you may decide to abandon it for something else. Tell me the advice for this spread for Aquarius, please. Thank you. The Wheel of Fortune. The High Priestess. Wow. And the Page of Wands. So it's time to begin. I'm getting a lot of this kind of energy. I feel like you have the right mind frame to do it. I also feel like you have the work ethic in order to accomplish what it is that you want. Very strategically minded is where you need to be focused, or how you need to be focused. The Wheel of Foreskin. The Wheel of Foreskin. The Wheel of Foreskin. All right, you know what? Love that for somebody. Mercury's not even retrograde, guys. This is just me. The Wheel of Fortune, the High Priestess, and the Page of Wands. I think that you can get as far as you want to go with your intuition, letting go of the wheel, and a little bit of audacity. Listen to your gut. House 5, have fun with this shit. Have a good time. Didn't I say about taking risks? This risk is not going to cost you what you think it is. House 5 can talk about taking risks. It's Leo energy as well. Confidence, taking some risks in your life. I'm not telling you to jump off of a cliff, okay, or spend all of your savings. This is not financial advice, but take some risks. As corny as it sounds, follow your dreams, follow your heart. I really mean it. Manifest the new, embrace change, and envision your desires, allowing the universe to align with your intentions. It's kind of like that saying, how do you fall asleep? By pretending you're asleep. And that's how everything else in the world works. Something to think about. So that is what I have for you, Aquarius. Thank you guys so much. If you would like to book a one-on-one session with me, you can do so by going to hipsy.com/Violetta Alexis. I also take calls and texts over there spontaneously. So whenever you're ready, if you want to book a personal reading with me, you can visit my website at violettaalexis.com. Thank you so much, Aquarius. Make it a good one, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye for now. Okay, Pisces, it is your time. Let's see what's happening for you between January 11th through to the 17th. Let's see. Show me Pisces, please. Okay, you're in the 5 of Wands reversed energy. The Emperor is behind that. Definitely trying to detach from your ego. You're not interested in the drama, in the conspiracy theories. You're not interested in getting your hooks into some kind of ego battle. 3 of Pentacles reverse. It definitely feels like you're having issues at work. Okay. You're not able to collaborate with someone or work with someone in the way that you want because there's some very clear disagreements. You may feel like you're not being valued. You may feel like 3 is a party. You know, you may feel like you and somebody else, especially someone that you work with or collaborate with, you guys just do not enjoy each other's company. I see that the Ace of Cups is here. So there's some kind of reprieve, or there's some kind of emotional opportunity that either you're offering to another or someone is offering to you. It feels like you have a lot to give, despite you kind of being in this, like, I don't want to, you know, Tracy from H&R is such a bitch and I just really don't want to. I'm not doing it, you know. I'm not getting into her drama and her power struggles with the boss or with other coworkers or whatever it is. I feel like you're very disengaged from that. That 3 of Pentacles reversed with the Ace of Cups. You see how that guy on the Ace of Cups is looking in the opposite direction? Yeah, I feel like that's kind of what you're doing. Whoops. Then we have the Hermit. You're doing your own thing, okay? It feels like there's a lot more going on behind the scenes, and it can feel like, yes, a dark night of the soul, but I feel like you can be doing something, like creating something, writing something. You know, the Hermit is Virgo, which is ruled by Mercury. So maybe you're writing something, maybe you're journaling, spilling your emotions in a journal. Maybe you're writing some letters. I also think that there's a lot of an awareness about what you're willing to give and what you want to receive from other people. And then we have the King of Cups. So it seems like you're being pretty emotionally mature here. You're trying your best, you know, despite the discrepancies. You're taking emotional responsibility for something. Very stoic is what I'm getting. It's a very stoic energy. You have Virgo and Scorpio here. Very observant. You're very observant of what's going on around you. You're doing your work and you're shutting the fuck up, essentially, is really what it comes down to. Okay, Knight of Cups reversed. I'm going to clarify that in a second. But if you have been a little delusional, if there has been some manipulation at hand between you and others, you could either be taking responsibility for that or just kind of shutting it down altogether. I do want to see 7 of Swords, the Emperor. It feels, for some of you, you're avoiding a boss. For others of you, you're just avoiding some shady shit that's going on. And you're like, you know what? I don't have time for that. I have other responsibilities that I have to tend to, and I'm not going to get myself caught up in a bunch of drama. Tell me about that 3 of Pentacles reversed. The Three of Cups. Wow. I feel like something that's supposed to be chill and fun and engaging ends up kind of being a big misunderstanding. I feel like you're interested in emotionally intelligent people. Some of you may be interested in a reconciliation, but because you guys are not really getting on the same page, it feels like there's some wishy-washy energy going on. You seem to be pretty supported by some people, but by like people you have some kind of professional connection with, that doesn't really seem to be working out. So I would lean into like friendships, or, you know, if you have like a buddy or two, like lean into that. Tell me about that Ace of Cups. The Moon reversed. It seems like you're ready to reveal something to someone, something that you've been fearing. Maybe you've been fearing opening up your heart to someone, or opening up your heart to people in general. Maybe you're a little insecure about what you have to offer, which is silly because it seems like you have a lot to offer. Tell me about that Hermit. Why is it there? The Four of Wands. You know what it honestly feels like between that Three of Pentacles reverse and the Three of Cups and the Five of Wands reverse and the Four of Wands with the Hermit? It almost feels like you just don't want to associate with people. It almost feels like you are intentionally isolating yourself from people, because I think what you want is you want to have a good time, you know, like anybody else, right? You want to have a good time. You want to feel free. You want to laugh, all of those things. But you're not going to hang out just because you want to hang out with someone or hang out with people. Like, you want it to make sense for you. And I think that you're learning like what you want in a relationship. What does a foundation mean for you specifically? What does fun look like? You know, who can help you break yourself out of your own comfort zone, or whatever it is? Because it kind of feels like you get to this point where like something doesn't really work out and you're like, okay, well, going back inside, you know? Tell me about that Ten of Wands. But you're not like being an asshole about anything. The Four of Pentacles, you're focused on stability. Like, again, there's a level of perspective when it comes to what you want to build. I feel like you're saving a lot of money and you're taking responsibility for what you need to take responsibility for. The Emperor and the Ten of Pentacles reverse, because you may feel like to a point you have the drive, but you're also feeling like you need to adopt the characteristics of what it's going to take to get to this Ten of Pentacles. Because that Ten of Pentacles reverse tells me, maybe it's not working right now. How do I need to get there? What do I need to do? What's that Knight of Cups reversed about? The Two of Cups. I don't feel like, I think that there's somebody that you're emotionally attached to, but it doesn't really feel like you're taking action. Why? The Sun reverse. You lack some optimism, or you feel like somebody's in their ego all the time. What's the advice for all this? The Lovers. The Nine of Pentacles, the Ten of Pentacles reverse. Okay, if you want this love, you want these specific connections in your life, first you need to let go of the past, right? We all say that here in the spiritual community, but it is about being okay with being you, being okay with being alone, finding this level of independence, instead of going into a relationship that becomes codependent because you don't know how to stand on your own feet, whether that's emotionally, financially, or otherwise. So it's about making higher self decisions that are aligned with your values and what you truly want in order for you to have that Ten of Pentacles, that longevity, that legacy. So we have Air and we have Ignite Ambition. Well, we saw that Emperor there. Pursue desires with drive and face consequences bravely. Keep an open mind as answers reveal your journey. Well, both of these are about keeping an open mind. Okay. I feel like while you're going on this journey of whatever you're doing here, I mean, clearly you are taking something very serious, in my opinion. And so it's telling you to continue to do that. Just make sure that you have passion for something. Okay. Keep the passion going. Be as ambitious as you can, you know, but again, stay open-minded along the way, because I still think that there's a lot to learn. Okay. So that is what I have for you, Pisces. Thank you guys so much. I hope you will like, share, comment, and subscribe if you have not. If you would like to book a one-on-one session with me, or you would like to call or text spontaneously, you can do so at hipsy.com/Violetta Alexis. If you want to book a personal reading, you can do so at violettaalexis.com. Thank you so much, Pisces, for watching, and make it a good one. Bye for now.